Welcome back to the Freedom Queen podcast. You are watching season 1 of The Art of Moving the Masses, and this is episode number 7, where I'm talking about the difference between being powerful and polarizing. Being powerful is something that is felt. You can feel someone's energetic certainty coming out of their body, and they're just saying it like it is. There's no intention. They're not trying to get you to like them. There's no proving. It feels like they're a leader that you want to follow, and people that speak with power are the ones that are also the most magnetic. Being polarizing, to poke at people, feels weak. It can feel like you're just reacting to something that happened. It feels like you're saying it because you just want to say it on the internet. It doesn't feel like there's power coming out of you. It feels like you're just being polarizing to be polarizing. And these polarizing pieces of content work in short sprints, but they don't work for the long run. Because what will happen is you'll gain attention. You'll get some people to like you, but in the long run, you won't be a leader in the marketplace. There's a difference between the two. One feels like this person has something to say, and this person's very important, and the other feels like this person's saying things because they need attention. Because being loud does not equal power. You can be really loud, and by all means, you do need to use your voice, and you do need to speak up, and you do need to share the truth, but you also need to do it from a place of grounded leadership, from being a CEO who has something important to say, and know that your voice matters. Now, something that's so important to me in business is that you don't just speak with power, you know your power. That you feel inside this energetic certainty about yourself. That when you speak, you're proud of what you're saying. When you speak, people listen, and you speak with clarity. You speak with this sense of purity, integrity, intention, where it feels like this person is speaking and they're just speaking the truth versus speaking with doubt, speaking with uncertainty, like you don't actually believe what you have to say. And although you can manufacture power, the reason this is so important to me is because in our business and in the business of life, when you speak with power, but you also feel it within you, you become this undeniable life force. You become someone who is inevitable, someone who everybody wants to be around. When you speak with power and you know your power. Now, power is something that can shrink, but it can also expand. Your power is something that I would define as self-belief and also alignment. Your power is made up of how you see yourself, your identity. It's made up of your own, the reason why I use the word alignment, because it's made up of how much do you back yourself, which also ties into self-belief. The more that you believe in yourself, the more you're going to do what? You're going to back yourself. You're going to take an action and you're going to say, no, I'm going to make that move with confidence because I believe in myself. Watch me go do this. That confidence is then radiated to other people, and then they want to move to know who you are, which creates leaders. And a lot of times in the online space, I see a lot of very insecure people, but actually I'm going to use the word immature people. And quite frankly, one of the reasons why, I was actually just looking at someone's account recently, and I thought, it's not their positioning in the marketplace, it's not their messaging, it's that they don't have what I call energetic certainty. They look very immature. They feel like somebody that they couldn't hold you. They could not be trusted. It feels like almost like you're hiring like a little girl to work with you. And that is not good for sales because people want to hire people that have energetic certainty. They want to hire people that have a backbone, that are mature. When I use the word mature, I mean sophisticated. You can still be wild and crazy. But if you give off this frequency that you're somebody who's not mature, not sophisticated, I guarantee you're making less money than other people. That certainty creates so many sales. And you create the uncertainty usually when you're kind of all over the place, you're scattered, you're being polarizing just to be polarizing, you're like yelling in all of your content just to yell. There's a difference between somebody that yells and is cursing in their content and saying things because it feels like energetic certainty. Like you can tell that it's a part of who they are. And then other people who you think that something feels off. Like this is just not your energetic certainty. The more that you create that certainty, which is also tying back to the important piece about this episode is power. Energetic certainty ties back to power because power is what moves people. It's what makes them say yes. It's like that person has power. You can tell just by looking at a group of people in the room who has the most power inside of the room very easily. Well, then how do you become someone who is powerful? We first need to look at the person within and say, do you actually feel powerful? Or do you look at yourself as less than in the room? Because when I walk into the room, I think to myself, I'm the most powerful person in this room. I think to myself, I am just as good, if not better, than the top person in this room. I think I am just as important, if not more in person than the most important person in this room. When I walk into rooms, I think that I belong at this table. Are you walking into rooms like you belong at the table? Are you walking into rooms like everyone should be learning from you at the table? Or are you walking into the room like, I'm so excited to be here and learn from everyone? Actually, that's not so bad. What's worse than that is when you walk into the room and you're not there, you're not at the beginning, you're not naive, but you're also not thinking you're the best. You're somewhere in the middle. That's worse than being naive. I think actually there's so much power in being naive because when you're naive and ignorant, you're totally free. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even know who's the best in the room. I think it's more dangerous to be in a place where you're somewhere in between those two and you're doubting yourself, but you also know you're the best, but you're not really showing up. That's not the place to be. And I think more of you are actually there than you are at the beginning. So the way that you get out of that is, number one, through recognizing your incongruencies. So where are you showing up as not the most confident that you can be? Where are you doubting yourself and letting that show up on the internet all the time? Where are you walking into rooms, even in positioning and acting like you aren't the best, the absolute best at what you do? Where are you still thinking like I was talking to someone recently, a client, she's saying, I was in this room and I know that she's an incredible business owner. She's made multiple millions. And she's like, but when I'm in this room, I still think that they're smarter, like they have something that I don't have, essentially. And what's funny about this is I'm telling you, like, you're never going to get to a certain place where all of a sudden you're making a certain amount of money and you feel powerful. You have to work on your congruency in your power at every new level because it doesn't just stay there. It's like a muscle that you have to constantly work on inside of your business, in your life as a woman, as a leader. Your power is something that doesn't just happen. It's something that every day you wake up and you work on that energetic certainty or that congruency in your power. It's like, I'm going to consistently be the most powerful person that I can be. And if I'm not that good in those areas, if you're not that good in the area that you want to be good in, then get better at it. That's your only choice. If you kind of suck at something, get better at the thing that you want to get better at. Put in the effort and the steps and the action. Don't be this like victim to the situation. If you're not that good at content, get better at content. If you're not that good at sales, get better at sales. If you're not that good at speaking, get better at speaking. There's so much power in that. There's not power in thinking that you're good at something, but then being hard on yourself when you don't get the results because you're actually not that good at it. That's just ego. That's not real power. Real power is self-acceptance and saying, you know what, maybe I'm not good at these things. Maybe you're not good at these things and you need to get better at it. That's real power. Power is not reacting to things and being loud about it. Power is actually taking the time to process the thing that's going on and decide, okay, what strategic move do you want to make here? What makes sense for you and your business? And being totally selfish about that. Because you have groups of people to lead. Teams, employees, clients, audiences. Like there are people that wake up every day and want what it is that you have. There are people that wake up every day and look forward to your social media post. So you have the choice every day. Do you want to be reactive? Do you want to be insecure and mature? Or do you want to be the person that's in the room walking in and saying, yeah, you might not be the best at everything, but you're absolutely going to be in your power. You're definitely going to pioneer. You're going to show up and get better at the thing that you want to get better at over and over and over again, and you're not going to quit. The most feared person in the marketplace is the person that never quits. They just keep showing up and showing up and showing up. But they don't just show up with insecurity, or they don't just show up with this like polarizing, reactive, immature mentality. They show up with it from a place of power and certainty and confidence, even though they have doubt and fear that yes, it's going to work out for them. If you loved listening to this topic, then I also know that you'll love the book club. The book club is a space where hundreds of women are gathering in 2026, and we're going on this journey together. I don't know if we'll have the book club in 2027. I know that it's here for this year. And the book club is a space where every single month we do a live stream with fancy camera and the setup. And I dive deep for about an hour, sometimes a little bit more, on what it actually looks like to be a woman who moves the world, how to make them say yes, how to persuade people, how to influence people, and how to become someone that's not just someone that speaks those things, but you have the power within. So I'm confident that if you loved this topic, then you're also going to love our book club, and we will put the link inside of the show notes below. I will see you in the next episode, and I'll talk to you soon.